Turkey's president met with Vladimir Putin today, hoping to persuade the Russian leader to rejoin a deal allowing Ukraine to safely export grain, a deal Moscow withdrew from in July. But Putin made it clear that the initiative would not be restored right now, and there's a lot at stake. Turkish President Recep Erdogan and Russian President Vladimir Putin shaking hands in Sochi before the leaders sat down to talk business. Erdogan says he's optimistic that Russia will revive the Black Sea grain deal that helped get Ukrainian grain to market with new proposals by the United Nations, but said Ukraine needs to give in to some of Russia's demands.
In order to be able to take common steps with Russia, Ukraine needs to soften its approach, especially now.
Russia quit the deal in July, a year after it was brokered by the United Nations and Turkey, complaining that its own food and fertilizer exports faced obstacles. Erdogan, who previously played a significant role in convincing Putin to stick with the deal, and the United Nations are trying to get Putin to return to the deal. The agreement was aimed at getting grain from Ukraine to world markets through the Black Sea and easing a global food crisis. Meanwhile, according to Ukraine, hours before the leaders met, a Russian drone hit a Ukrainian grain exporting port, damaging warehouses and setting buildings on fire. Police said there were no casualties. Ukrainian authorities posted photos of burning buildings and debris, but Reuters was not able to confirm the location or date the photos were taken.
Что касается пробуксовки и контрнаступления, это не пробуксовка.
It is not a stalling, it is a failure. In any case, it looks this way as of today. Let us wait and see what comes next, Putin said today, adding that Ukraine's 3-month-old counteroffensive has already failed. The Russian president insisted that Ukrainian attacks had ended up in a failure. Hope it will be just like this even further on, he added. Putin said that Russia had never rejected direct talks with Ukraine, saying that he had reaffirmed this position today during his talks with Erdogan. Since launching a counteroffensive using many billions of dollars of Western military equipment, Ukraine has recaptured more than a dozen villages, but has yet to penetrate Russia's main defenses. In recent days, officials in Kyiv claimed that after months of fighting their way through heavy minefields, Ukraine's forces have finally reached the main Russian defensive lines, south of a village of Robotyne, which they recaptured last week in the western Zaporizhia region. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also appears to be switching up his strategy. He fired his defense minister, citing the need for new approaches after more than 18 months of conflict.